came in the world alone, that's how I'ma leave it. If I tell you to stay away for your protection, I hope you believe me.
Good evening. This is Public Square with your host, Just Wavy. I'm here with Cultured Kelz. Tonight we're going to dive into little things that he does and what he has coming up next. So my first question would be, who is Cultured Kelz?
So Cultured Kelz, just a small town kid, man. I come from Mount Dora, Florida, born in Orlando, Florida. Both of those on the map are very minute compared to your biggest cities like, New York and places like that. So just a small town dude, really just chasing my dreams, man. And trying to impact the world how I feel I was put here to impact the world.
Okay. So my next follow-up question is, what's the meaning behind your name, Cultured Kelz?
I'm glad you asked that, because that's actually something I want people to know. That's what I want it to stick with people.
Okay.
The cultured aspect to my name comes from the definition of the word cultured. If you look it up, it's characterized by refined taste, manners, and good education. So in February 2019, when I decided I was going to take the music serious and actually become an artist, I was like, well, what name can I choose that will represent myself and the change that I want to bring to this world and to this industry? And when I stumbled across the definition for culture, I was like, this is perfect, because a lot of these rappers, they pushing an agenda of just like, oh, rappers are uneducated, or they got to be gangster, they got to be this. Like, nah, you could be you, man. You could be cultured if you came from a good home, if you came from, some good upbringing. You can be that. Be whatever you are, man.
Okay, so my next question is, what drew you to the music industry? But actually, before that, you said starting to take the music serious. So were you playing around with it before? Or was it a thing like, just little ciphers in high school, little ciphers with your homies when y'all out or whatever? Or was it a thing to where, you just kind of stumbled up in it?
To be completely honest, I've been around music my whole entire life.
Okay.
From my family members, my father, my uncle, shout out T-Rex. They was doing the music thing since I was a jit. I'm talking...
Okay. So you always been around the music,
right? And then high school, I did some freestyles at the lunch tables like everybody else, but I never really took it serious. Made songs, things like that in the studio. My first studio session was at 212. Shout out 212 Recording Studio. That's definitely family to me. But that's when I actually started, taking it serious and thinking of being a rapper. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what drew you to the music industry?
Just the passion, man. I feel we all have gifts. Okay. We've all been blessed with a gift, no matter if it's not even to be funny, but if it's to pass out mail as a mailman, or whatever your gift is, your calling is. Once you find that, man, you just go for it and you go all in and you go hard. I believe in faith for real. So everything I do, I let the spirit move me. When my spirit's telling me I should do what I need to do, I allow that to happen so that God could work through me, and it led me to where I am today. So I'm planning to keep going.
What you saying, spiritual? Are you more spiritual or are you more a religious person? Or do you think they go hand in hand?
I think depending on perspective, man. Me personally, I like to say spiritual, okay, because I did some studying. I went to the military not too long ago, and when I went out there, I did some real soul searching within myself.
Gotcha.
I didn't grow up in no church or anything like that, but I always believed in God. Gotcha. And I did have Christian influence around me. But then once I actually started digging a little deeper and really getting into the Bible and reading for myself, right, I was like, okay, some things lining up, some things not, and I stumbled across what's called Aminism. Okay. And Aminism is the belief that there is no one religion that's completely true, but all religions hold some truth in them. Okay. So I was like, okay, that kind of lines more with what I believe, because then when I was in the military, there were some dudes who were in the Saudi army, and they believed in their book was the Quran, and they put me onto some of the Quran, and I started noticing some similarities, and I was like, okay, so I started kind of digging a little deeper.
Gotcha.
And
doing your own research.
Yeah, so I was like, I just want to stay spiritual. I don't want to conform to one religion.
Gotcha. So, with that being said, what are your musical inspirations?
So many, man. I kind of I get inspired per song, really, to be honest with you. So I could one day just be in a Kevin Gates mood. You know,
Gotcha.
Kevin Gates, he puts a lot of his real life into his music.
Right.
You know, and he's always been himself. And the world, he gave the world no choice but to accept him for who he is.
Right.
You know, so that's been a big inspiration. All the way back to, you know, your Pacs and Biggs and all them, Andre 3000. That's probably one of the biggest, just because like his ability to be able to stay low key
Right.
and still do his thing, but like be Andre 3000, like that's crazy to me, man. So definitely like just a lot of inspirations all around. But
Okay. So who would you say is your biggest inspiration? If you had to pick one.
biggest inspiration,
Biggest.
realistically, I gotta say J. Cole. And
Okay. So you went new school. I like that. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and it's more for who he is off the music.
Okay.
As
so
well
it's
as
more off
on.
camera than it is
Right,
on
you
camera.
know, all around. Like, I just like how he came in the game and how he started doing a lot of like self-evaluation and checking
Okay.
himself and made those adjustments necessary to kind of have an impact on the world. So I like that, man. That's what I'm kind of going for as well.
Got you. So now that we're on the rapid tip, give me a top 5.
Oh,
Give me
man.
your top
Dead
5.
or Alive?
Dead or Alive. Give me your top 5.
All right, so 3 stacks.
Okay.
Jermaine Cole,
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Yeah, that 4 and 5 spot when you
That
round it out
pressure
again.
on
Hard,
me, man,
yeah.
because we got so many talented artists, man. Top 5. Dead
Right.
or
There's no
Alive.
disrespect to the other ones. Your top 5 though is you.
I'm gonna say Pac, man. I gotta give it Pac, and then look, this last one gonna be funny because the people that's watching this, whoever know me for a long time, know I used to didn't support this artist,
Okay.
but he worked his way into GOAT status in my book, and that's Drake, man. You can't even, you know.
It's hard to deny the man.
You can't deny the man. I used to try to hate on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like, you know, because he didn't write his lyrics, he didn't deserve, you know, the title, the GOAT or the greatest. But, you know, he definitely, he does his thing, man. You know, Drake is an inspiration as well. So
See, with the Drake tip though, my thing is, as long as the 10 a.m. in Dallas and the, you know, all those joints, you know the ones I'm talking
You feel
about. As long as those are written by him, I'm cool. The
100%.
throwaway songs is kind of like, okay, so what if somebody else wrote them? But the ones, the personal ones, where you talking about you was talking to Shorty and doing this, that, and the third, I need those to be authentic.
those gotta
for
be
real,
you, bro.
right?
Those gotta be
Those
you.
gotta be you.
For sure.
But moving on from that, what's next?
So what's next for me? Just keep getting after it, man. I wanna hit the scene with something that hasn't seen before.
Okay.
I wanna kind of merge the good kid, Mad City vibe
Okay.
with from the trenches, you know, with just like the cultured aspect, being
Okay.
educated, things like that. I'm trying to create a new wave, pretty much.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So you want to do the whole, I've been around it, not so much in it, or do you want to take the both acts of being around it and also being in it?
I just want to be authentic to what really my
Gotcha.
story is. So, like, for instance, on that, it's being around it, dabbling in
Gotcha.
it, you know, maybe being interested or influenced by it, but choosing a different route and really genuinely speaking on the route that I have chosen and things like that, you know.
Got you. So with the new song that you have coming up,
Yes, sir.
let's get into that. Let's dive into that a little bit.
So expressions, yeah. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna be my footprint in the game.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be my entrance, my foot in the door, for multiple reasons. One being that's probably my realest song to this date.
Okay.
I think it'll probably be one of my realest songs ever, just because of where it came from. You know, myself, my family members, friends, everybody really has probably dealt with mental health.
Right.
You know, that's a big thing. I seen a shift in that we're talking a lot more about in today's society than we were before. And I feel like with this song, Expressions, I'm able to show that it's okay. You feel me? Like, it's okay to be dealing with things. Other people are dealing with things. We all know somebody that's dealing with a lot of things. And I just want to give people that raw, uncut expression of that, you know, how I was feeling when I was going through what I was going through, and the people around me going through what they was going through, you know, what was on my mind. You know, I don't want to give them too much. They got to tune in for that.
You got to tune in for it, but you got to give us a little service so we understand.
For sure.
Okay,
man.
so you shooting a video for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you shooting a video for this. Who's directing the video?
Caleb Brioni, man, definitely one of the hottest videographers, photographers out of Orlando, Florida, that I've worked with thus far. Definitely holding it down. We got some super creative aspects that we're gonna add to this video. So I think it's gonna be a big one for her as well.
Okay,
and
so
the team.
you dove into a little bit of the music as far as expression is concerned, and you kind of gave us a little bit of the song and what it's about. So is it about mental health? Because you did touch, that was a big topic that you touched on, and it's crazy that how our community kind of doesn't touch on mental health. It's kind of frowned or shunned.
It is.
So
man.
for you, is that a hard thing for you to do, to express yourself in that manner, in that light? Or is it more or less like this is how you vent and it's therapy for you?
Oddly enough, it's not difficult for me, and I think that's one thing that might set me apart from a lot of my peers, and I've got that in the past, you know, that comment. It's not, I actually enjoy it because I know there's somebody that is resonating with, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's somebody that the words that I'm saying and the truth that I'm telling about myself is inspiring the next person to do that. You know, I speak openly about how I've sought help, you know, for mental health and seen a therapist, and, you know, I've dealt with it firsthand where people right there in front of me have tried to harm themselves, and by the grace of God, my hands and my brother's hands and whoever's hands, we stopped that person. And when I say my brother, he's not my blood brother. I got a couple brothers who are my blood brothers, but you know, I treat them as such.
Right.
My actual blood brother, he dealt with mental health. You know, he went through his stages of trying to harm himself. My father struggled with mental health. Like, it's been very prominent in my life, so I choose to put that in my art.
Got you. So it's very close.
Yeah,
so it's not a
sure.
touchy subject for you. You're very open about it. It's not one of those
For
things
sure.
where you try to hide. It's you being yourself and being open with yourself,
Right.
which I hear a lot in your music as well. Is you being open and honest and
Yeah,
you know, just having your own sound. And
I think I went through my days of kind of being embarrassed of it,
Okay.
or being ashamed, whatever somebody wants to label that, of pretty much trying to hide it or divert from it. But at the end of the day, you know, that's my truth. That's my
Gotcha.
story, and that's what makes me an individual. And that's another thing. I feel by me being me, I'm gonna inspire the next person to be them, be you. We all have a struggle, and it's okay to